Tom,
Kevin,
how are you today?
good, how are you?
We're here at, you tell us where we're at.
We're at Camp Wabanna in
And
Edgewater, Maryland.
And why are we here?
We're here for the third annual Men Make Men Sexual Recovery Retreat, where we're gathering just to hear some great speakers and to get some good connections.
Very good. And so what are we doing for the men for this weekend? What was our goal?
The goal was to, we had 57 guys here this weekend, up from 37 last year.
Nice.
And it was just a great way to get guys here, to share their stories, to get connected in community, and to be surrounded by other guys with the same issues. So we're all on the same journey together, and we're working on healing together.
Awesome, awesome. Now how about, were there any leaders here?
Lots of leaders. We had 3 great speakers. Mark Dennison,
Yep,
who is a
yep.
former pastor. We had James Reeves, who is a pastor from Dallas-Fort Worth area. And we had Rich Moore from Pure Desire Ministries.
And all 3 were fantastic.
All 3 were. We also had a lot of group leaders here from all over the country, whether it was Pennsylvania, Maryland, New York, lots of different leaders.
There's some guys that came from out west.
California.
Yeah, California.
California, Colorado Springs, from all over the country.
It's awesome.
Awesome, it is awesome.
So there were pastors here. What are we doing for pastors?
We're trying to start some groups for pastors and leaders who can have their own accountability outside their groups.
Yeah.
And just have a safe place to share.
That's good, and that's why we wanted to just share a little bit more about the pastors only Zoom call on Saturday mornings. But before I do, can I share a story about
Absolutely.
a youth pastor?
Absolutely.
A friend of mine named George. He was a youth pastor, and he grew up in a Christian home. And as many people do, he tended to stray away from godly things in the Bible and church. But he was always in church.
Mm-hmm.
But he wanted to bail on the whole thing. So he got involved with things of the world. In high school, he got involved with sex and drugs and rock, the whole thing, sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah.
But then the Lord got a hold of his life, and he wanted to become a youth pastor. So he went to Word Life Bible Institute, and he graduated from Liberty University, was in a church, and there was one thing that he didn't deal with. And you can guess what that was. Yep, sexual addiction, sexual issues and stuff like that. But he had a thriving youth ministry, and it was going great until one day he was at his wit's end. And he told me this story that he went into the sanctuary and he was crying out to the Lord to send someone. Because oftentimes guys who are dealing with this stuff, they don't know who to talk to and who to go to. So he was in that same boat. So he was there crying out to the Lord, and in walks an elder. The elder walks down and says, "Yo, George, what's going on?" And George is like, "Praise God you're here." "Why? What's going on?" "I'm a mess." George told him, "I'm a mess. I struggle with sexual impropriety and sexual addiction and masturbation, the whole thing." Mm-hmm. And he goes, "I was praying to the Lord to send someone and you walked in. Can you help me?" And George told me that the elder said, "No, I can't help you because I struggle too." Mm. And that is a sad story. It's a terrible thing. So that's why we want to help provide a safe environment for pastors on Saturday mornings on a Zoom call, so that you can have a place to share, a place to open up. And that's what with Tom and I and some other pastors, we would love to have you on those meetings. You can contact Tom. He'll give you all the information and a link to the thing. So this weekend was kind of like, came to a head with the sexual issues that we all face, and we want to do something about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. All parts are welcome here, and that's what we're trying to provide, that safe community where people can come and just share their stories and get healing from one another.
Awesome. Well, thank you for this little bit of time that
bet.
we had.
Thanks.
And we look forward to seeing you.
What about George?
What about George? Well, you're going to have to come to the
That's
Zoom call
right.
on Saturday morning to find out how that story ended, because you know what? It ended pretty cool.
Yeah.
So good talking to you. Thanks.